My videos are very amateurish. I don't have a script or anything like that, and I don't edit. So today I thought I would have a script. So here's my script. It says hello from him and hello from Sasha. So it's hello from him, and it's hello from Sasha. Are you a Himalayan dog today? Ow. I think you are. Good girl. Enjoying the shade. Back to the script. What are we going to do now? Get on with it. No bullshit, and yeah, okay. Right, so we've done a few more mods on the old Himmy, or the young Himmy, and one of the things I was worried about was smashing the headlight on gravel roads, because you not only have rocks coming from other vehicles. Imagine something like that from flying at you, lifted from the tyre lugs of a truck almost at great speed. We'll break it. So I looked at some of the headlight guards that were on the market, and they're not going to help. They're not going to help with rocks hitting you. So I decided to make my own, as usual. So what we've done is a bit of an experiment. We cut this out of a piece of steel. We did use a plasma, but it doesn't have to be. You could cut this out by hand if you wanted to. It's a piece of 1/8 plate. And I had some of this honeycomb mesh hanging around. I don't know, it's the usual stuff. It's just something that we didn't throw away, you know, keep it in case it's handy. So I decided to use it, but it's very thin and hard to weld. It just disappears on you as soon as you give it any heat. So what I did was I sandwiched it between two metal plates. Don't know if you can see it. And then I brazed the plates together. And the reason I brazed them, well, actually, to be more correct, it's braze welded. The reason I did that was to reduce the amount of heat that goes into it, to stop distortion or what have you. And then I cut off three bolts, actually. One here, one here, one here, and welded them to my ring. Popped them through a hole in these handmade brackets. Now I've got a bit of adjustment here. I've got 3 holes. Actually, I've only put 2 in the bottom because I think that one's going to be too close. But the idea here was to be able to get a rag or a hand in and clean the bugs off your headlight, because the bugs are still going to get through here, and dust and that, and just keep it clean. A lot of them, the mesh is right against the plastic here. So how are you going to clean it? Well, you're not, are you? So you need a bit of room. Actually, I think I could come in 1 hole, and that will close the gap up, give it a bit of protection. Might even bring it in 2, and then you could shove a rag down and then just move it up and down, clean that off. So that's my my headlight guard. It's nothing fancy, but it's no worse looking than some of the things you see on the internet. So probably I'll work out something for these little LED lights and see how we go from there. Still haven't used them in the dark. It doesn't get dark here till about midnight, and then it gets light again at 3:45 in the morning. It's because we're so far north. So I will use it in the dark, but I'm not going out especially at midnight just to try it. And then of course there'll be deer and elk and everything on the road, moose included. Moose are the worst because you just can't see them because their hair is non-reflective. The first thing you might see is a flash of their silver legs in the dark. You certainly won't see the body of the moose until it hits you. So not a good thing to do. Running without the mud guard at the front, or the upper mud guard. I think the bike looks a little better without it. It looks more like a road bike and less like a dirt bike. That white mud guard sticking out the front, I don't really like it. Although it will stop rocks and that coming up from the front wheel and being thrown back at you, but I'm going to leave it off for now, see how it goes, and then I may paint it black and put it back on. I don't really know, just don't like it. So that's that. It's one modification. Another modification, and this is in relation to my chain oiler, which I did in the last video, showed you it in the last video. I've put a guard on the back of the chain. In addition to the chain guard itself, this plastic one, I made this just to stop the oil from being thrown over the back of the bike. As you can see, it is oiling the chain adequately, if probably a little more than adequately. I could turn it down a bit, but this is just to keep the back of the bike a little cleaner. Again, I designed it on my CAD system, my CAD system, my cardboard aided design. A breakfast cereal packet for just more information for my regular viewers. Yeah, so just made it out of that, then it's made out of aluminum, just to keep it light. You can see that it's aluminium. That bit didn't get painted. Can't get good help these days. So yeah, hopefully that'll stop the crap from being thrown all over the rear tyre. You can see that it was making a mess of the bike, and also in addition to that, we put a mud flap on her and sort of cover up this area. I have ridden it in the rain, and it did reduce the spray thrown up at the back, but didn't eliminate it entirely, but every little helps. So that is that. What else have I done? Oh yeah, I've done the seat. Now the seat on these bikes is a bit of a bone of contention, or tailbone of contention if you like. It has it's sloped, and it has a tendency to push you forward as you ride, and then you end up sitting on not on your backside, but on the bones and the top of your leg, and it gets quite irritating after a while. I won't say extremely painful, but just irritating. Now I've looked at the rally seat, which is nice and flat, and that works okay, but that's for mainly if you're riding the bike and you're standing up a lot. So and it's narrow, so not for me with my big arse. So and then the touring seat, I've seen mixed reviews about that, and some people say it's nice and soft, but it's still narrow. Well, as I'm basically going to be doing tarmac roads and gravel roads, and mostly sitting down, I don't need a narrow seat. I need a wide seat, and I might be doing long days on this bike, so I came up with this as a temporary measure. Excuse the bungees. And an old sheepskin. So this is just that packaging foam that they use. Can't remember what it came in. It's been hanging around forever. So I thought I'd use it. So what I did was I cut it up, and I made it wider. Made the seat wider, and then I glued some extra on the sides. Just use that 3M contact adhesive. Some extra, and then what that does is it gives it a bit of support here. Gives it a bit of support there, so it doesn't just flop down. It actually quite a fair bit of support. And then I put some softer rubber in the middle. And what I did was, if you can see the thickness of it, you know, it's pretty thick stuff. That is the original thickness. So what I did was I got a grinder with a fairly coarse disc on it. Hope you can see all this. I got a grinder with a fairly coarse disc and thinned it down. So it's about that thickness, about just under 1/2 inch. So I didn't want to raise the height too much. So that's what we've got, and it is firm, but it's not like sitting on plywood, and with a sheepskin on it, like so, you know, it's quite comfortable. My other sheepskin has got a thicker fleece on it than this, and that'll be even more comfortable, but this one is just what I had hanging around. The other one's in the house, and I will use it if I go on a long trip because I use it to sleep on when I'm camping. So yeah, so this actually works very well. It costs nothing to make, just an hour or two thinking time and putting it together. So yeah, this is just that packing thing that your TV or something came in, a refrigerator, I don't know, whatever, can't remember, it's so long ago. And then this is some just some general foam rubber. This is only sort of 3/8 of an inch thick. I just put that on where I carved the bottom out, and you know, that's sort of shaped. You can see the profile. The profile is a mirror image of this, and then that just goes on there like that and flattens the whole deal out, and it's incredibly warm. It's on a cold day, that and a sheepskin will keep you warm, and of course the sheepskin is good in hot weather too. It will allow a little bit of ventilation. So that's it. That's my headlight guard, chain guard extension rather, in my seat. Just another little thing. Yeah, these are my tusk bags, which this is the third bike they've been on. They fit all my bikes because all my racks are the same dimensions, and they're interchangeable with the Kriegers. I made them like the Kriegers, where they have these two straps which come from underneath and hold the bag on. Originally these straps here would have gone over to the other bag and held it on. That works good in some circumstances, but not in my particular case. So anyway, I like these things because they're cheap. You can get these for just over $300 right now, which is a hell of a bargain. The Kriegers will cost you 3 or 4 times that, and they're just as good, believe me. They're 95% as good as the Kriegers. I treated them with tent waterproofing material. They're virtually waterproof on their own, but they do have dry bags inside. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, right, was we'll take these off, which is very simple. You just flip these buckles through, pop that through. Same here, pop that through, pop that out. So that comes off. These are the two straps that hold everything on, you know, and once these are tightened up, the bag's not coming off. It can't go anywhere. Famous last words, that's going nowhere. No, but they do. I've had them on a couple of long rides and they're absolutely fine. They're fantastic. One thing I wanted to show you was when I originally showed you this plate, which copies the dimensions somewhat of the Krieger plate. I was using regular bolts like these here, but obviously they would rub the back of the bag, even though it has got this hardened piece on it, would still wear through eventually. So I just replaced these with some countersunk bolts. Fairly simple thing to do. Works good. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Again, this is my motorcycle fuel, and on the bag here would be my camping stove fuel. So there we go. It's another shot at the chain oiler. Get these out of the way. Another shot of the chain oiler. Coming down onto the lower run of the chain. And I don't think I showed you the valve off the welding torch. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know, I can't get down here, can I? No. What are we looking at? Like that. Oh, where is the bloody thing? Oh, trying to do it off the phone is virtually impossible. Oh, there's the bottom of my dealie. And this is in bright sunlight, so there you can see the valve off the welding torch. You can see the brass fitting that would normally be on it, and then the barbed insert going into a clear hose, so you can see the oil being delivered. So yeah, so this is the metering valve here for my chain oiler. Seems to work okay. Sorry about the poor camera work, but there we are. I'm an amateur, no script, no editing, no nothing. What you see is what you get, and no bullshit and no adverts. Pardon me, did I swear? Anyway, so there we go. Until next time, it's goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from who are you? Are you Sasha the Himalayan dog? I think you are. Good girl. Yes, so it's goodbye from him, it's goodbye from Sasha the Himalayan dog. Until next time, rubber side down, shiny side up. Take care of yourselves, look after one another. Behave if you can, and if you can't, be careful. Bye bye.